Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment, I'm going to get real quickly into this. For those who missed it, Steve Spurrier at South Carolina, the 70-year-old coach who acts like a 10-year-old, took a shot at Tennessee this week. He said that 7-6 at Carolina was a decent year. That was his record this year. But then he fired a shot saying that Vol fans are still doing cartwheels about their 7-6 record. Funny. Then the biggest jerk this side of Spurrier, Jim Rome, who was a smarmy needler before Twitter made smarmy needling a sport. He came out and agreed with Spurrier on his website, writing Vol fans celebrated their TaxSlayer Bowl win like it was a Super Bowl win. I missed that. I didn't see a parade.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. And they said Gamecock set and match to Spurrier. Look, three things. Spurrier and Carolina did some celebrating of their own, as Jimmy mentioned earlier in the show. Back in 2006, when they beat Houston, was their fourth big bowl win in history.
Yeah.
They did some celebrating. Second, Spurrier was knocked out of the SEC championship game 2 years ago by Tennessee and Butch Jones. He fell to 7-6 last year because he lost at home to Tennessee and Butch Jones. It's not the 1990s anymore. When he used to throw barbs, it was because we're winning and you're not. Now it sounds more like sour grapes because Butch Jones owns him as of right now. I mean, I know a lot of people around here hated Steve Bobby Scott's out there cheering. I know a lot of people hated Steve Spurrier in the 90s. I never didn't get into it. He picks on everybody when he's winning. He pouts when he loses. He's 70. It's time to grow up or get out. I'm tired of Steve Spurrier. I could care less about any other coaches in the conference. I'm sick of it. I'm just tired of hearing it. I think this was over the top and silly, and the fact that Jim Rome agreed with it just made it all the better. Thoughts on the comments that Tennessee fans were celebrating doing cartwheels over the bowl win?
For me, this at this point doesn't bother me. I mean, like you mentioned, Butch Jones, he owns Steve Spurrier at South Carolina, and if he wants to keep throwing jabs because he's upset and pouting, that's fine by me.
Pearl.
Spurrier, he's an SEC coach. He's got to respect us, but he doesn't have to like us. He doesn't. I was 7-6 cheering. That's because that's support for going up, not coming down. Support for going up.
Hey, I'll tell you what, guys. If I had blown back-to-back fourth-quarter leads against Tennessee the way Steve Spurrier did, and remember the game here, the calling timeout, and going to punt, not going to punt, back and forth, the indecision, the comeback Tennessee had last season in Columbia, so improbable.
Because he kept throwing the ball.
That's going to be the last school I'm going to mention. And to tell you the truth, Jim Rome, I'd forgotten he even still had a show.
And I got his kryptonite. Jim Rome, one thing to you, Jim Everett.
Yeah, it's funny. They cut away. You never saw what Jim Everett did to him. In that old clip when he popped off to Jim Everett, they cut away.
We can probably get it now.
Yeah, it's probably online somewhere. Whether he's talking about Tennessee or Kentucky or Georgia or whoever, and he did that to Joker Phillips. He ran the score up on him his last year, made a crack about Kentucky. Grow up. Here's the thing. I don't like jerks in real life, so why would I like a jerk as a football coach? And the older he gets, the more jerky he becomes.
Yeah, I think. Steve Spurrier, grow up and put your shirt back on, big boy.
Right. When we come back, what is the bigger concern? All right, we got two. We'll tell you when we come back. We've got two concerns. Which one's the bigger one? Come on back.
Like our set? Turn to Benedict Construction.